Hello, everybody. So one of the things that often comes up for families is screen time usage and ADHD. And this is one of the struggles that was mentioned by you guys inside of this group. So what we're going to talk about, we have with us Christine Robinson, who is an ADHD coach who started her career off with ADHD coaching is inside of the Hallwell Centers. And so I'm delighted to welcome her here to help us handle some of the struggles around screen time usage when ADHD is in the picture for our kiddos. It's a battle, can be a battle without ADHD, and it can be even harder when ADHD is in the picture for numerous reasons, of which I'm sure she will get into sharing as well. So welcome, Christine. Thank you so much for being here today.
Great. Thank you so much, Veronica. So glad to join you.
And I wanted to start off by asking you, I know you've worked with a few people on this particular challenge. Can you share the story of someone, like what was their challenge around screen usage and what was their life like? What were the challenges they were having, really?
Sure. I worked with a high school student who was very addicted to social media. He was on Instagram a lot. When we checked screen time usage, it was up to 8 or 9 hours a day. His high school did not have restrictions around cell phone use, so he was checking it, during lunch breaks, really whenever he could, and obviously during class as well. So this was really affecting him. I mean, he went into a pretty deep dive of anxiety and depression, and he was already diagnosed with ADHD. And we really worked on decreasing this over a period of time where we were monitoring screen time usage, deleting apps, many strategies. And obviously, 17 at the time, finding those replacement activities to get him moving physically, to get him outside more. And most of those depression and anxiety symptoms really did dissipate. It took a period of time, helped with medication, but we all agreed with his parents and of course him that the screen time really was the cause of this. And today he's in college, has all those apps still deleted. He just does not make that a part of his life.
Was it difficult to get him on board? Like, I feel like many people might be sitting here thinking, great, I'd love it if that would be what my kiddo would be self-interested in doing. But like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, when we first started meeting, it really took quite a few sessions to, get to this point and to really figure out what was going on, because this was impacting his schoolwork as well and just his ability to concentrate and focus. So after a few sessions, we just started experimenting. Well, let's put the screen time app on. Let's really be conscious of what you're doing every day. And then when we really started looking at the data, it was pretty frightening. And that's when he started to really engage and get on board, because we started talking about, well, it's not that all of this is bad, but what could you be doing instead to make yourself feel better? So it definitely took time to get there. Mm-hmm. But the less he used social media and other things that he was doing, like YouTube and stuff, so often, he started feeling better because he started doing other things that he enjoyed, was with friends more, did hikes, got involved with like jujitsu and karate. And it just changed his whole perspective.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you then too, you have definitely taken the time to summarize what is the research around this with screen time. Can you highlight just some particular studies perhaps, or some data around the research in this area?
There are many studies now coming out, basically every hour, almost every minute that we spend collectively on screens, the risk of anxiety and depression just gets higher with the amount of time. This goes for non-ADHD folks as well as ADHD folks. And certainly with the ADHD population, whether adult or children, that level of impulsivity is going to be higher. The lack of self-regulation is going to be higher. And so it's just a risk. I mean, again, not all social media is bad, not all screen time is bad, but it's really the moderation that we have to look at.
Mhm.
So, certainly, I was just kind of noting some age groups because I looked up the study or the guidelines for the American Association of Pediatricians, and they don't really give hours, which was kind of surprising to me. But in my opinion, children 0 to 2 should not really have any screen time. 2 to 5, television would be the best vehicle if there was going to be any. It's not close to their face where all the pixels and the blue light is affecting their vision. But certainly limit that as well. And for smaller children, I would stay away from that iPad for as long as you can, because the iPad for most children, especially around the ages of 7 to 8 to 9, starts to get very compelling. They want that iPad. So, there definitely needs to be, as many monitors around that as possible in terms of usage.
Absolutely. The struggle that people then have is around monitoring that usage, right? And that this can be really hard. And I love that you highlighted there just that with ADHD, the reasons why this can be even more difficult for people. So then do you have one tip as we're looking to wrap this up, thinking then about these younger kids? Because the example you shared before was kind of an older teenager, college age-ish kid. What about for younger kids who are going and picking up the iPad, and how to and getting some moderation in there?
Well, I think the first thing and our first line of defense as parents is talking about screen time and the benefits and the dangers of it early and often. I would start talking to very young children about screen time, kind of why mommy and daddy are on the computer at certain times because we work. I mean, to really break it down so they understand that this shouldn't be attached to my hand or my face, 24/7. So if you really start educating a child and informing them very early, I personally don't think the pushback will be as great. And both studies are showing that, because if they understand the reasons why, and they understand, that you're finding, other activities to get them involved with, then they just don't miss it as much. So they could go on for an hour and be happy with, just playing a game, but then putting it away. So it does take a lot of work. I feel for parents today. I understand the challenges, but we all have to kind of get creative and, support one another, in this quest for moderation.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Christine. So where can people find you online?
Oh, sure. My website is www.addactioncoach.com.
Awesome. Thank you. Pleasure speaking with you today and sharing those really helpful ideas around screen time usage.
Thank you so much, Veronica. Talk to you soon.
Yes.
Okay. Bye-bye.